Hello. Today we're going to talk about single arm club. We're going to talk about real world workouts and what you should be doing or what you could be doing early in your single arm club journey, more at the beginner's level or maybe even beginner toward intermediate level. The goal of this channel is to be the channel that didn't exist when I was starting out. I had a hard time figuring out what a program looked like and how all this worked. So I want to go back in time 3 years ago from where I was today, which was about 6 to 9 months after I started clubs. And I printed out one page of my journal from 3 years ago, and I want to look at the actual workouts that we did and how this impacts with single arm clubs. My name is Chris Butterworth. This is the Healthy Butter Fitness channel. This is a place where we talk about being in your 50s and 60s and fighting off the effects of father time. Every day, every step of the way, we want to feel great and not dinged up and in chronic pain. I used to be in chronic pain. I feel great today. And clubs are a big reason why. Functional fitness, kettlebells, clubs, and Mace. Clubs are fantastic. But clubs have kind of a long runway before they're fun. And let's talk about getting started. There is a lot of information online about big guys doing manly lifts with clubs, and about some really fun stuff. You see guys doing 2 clubs at the same time and doing some really cool movements. But when you're starting out with clubs, the journey is not easy. It's a little bit repetitive. It's a little bit boring. And I think clubs are one of those things where you really do have to get good at them before you can go up in weight, before you can go up in fun. There is nothing I've ever found in my life that highlighted the imbalance between my left and my right more than doing clubs. Single arm clubs, my right hand was pretty comfortable with it and my left hand was spastic. When I, even 2 or 3 years into the club program, when I picked up double clubs and I tried to do 2 at the same time, my left arm again was significantly worse than my right. So clubs have a long runway. There's a lot of practice. There's a lot we can learn. So let's talk about what it looks like. Going back to this month, 3 years ago, I did 26 workouts that month. I did 13 kettlebells, 12 clubs, and I did 1 ruck. I did an hour and 15-minute hike on a local mountain with weights in my backpack. Today, let's look at just the club exercises. I was using at the time a 10-pound club for most of my workouts. I used an 8X adjustable club. This is an On-It club, 10 pounds, but this is what it was. I mean, it was not really heavy. I had a combination of workouts running. So I had kind of workout A and workout B, and I took turns with them. One workout was a combination of, I would do either swipe, which is, down and then over your shoulders, and mill, which is go around your head like this, do a lower circle and then an upper circle, and reverse mill, go around the other way and do an upper circle. I would do left hand and right hand. I would do 2 of those 3 exercises. Originally, when I wrote my program and I started doing it, I would try to do all 3 of those exercises. But to be honest, the workouts got long and the workouts got boring. And so I decided I was just going to do 2 out of 3 at a time because I got bored. That particular month that we're looking at, so again, it was 6 to 9 months after starting clubs, I did that workout, swipe, mill, reverse mill, 2 out of 3 of those exercises. I did 6 sets of 6, 7 sets of 6, 8 sets of 6, and 9 sets of 6 during that month. So I was doing sets of 6, and what that would mean is, like, for a mill, I would do 6 with my left hand, go around, and I would do this 6 times, whatever it was, and then I would do 6 with my right hand. So your left hand got to rest, and you would immediately do right hand. And then right hand would get to rest, and you would do 6 with the left hand again. So I would do 6 sets of that, and then I would put it down and I would rest for 1 minute, and then I would pick it back up and I would do 6 sets of 6, the other exercise. So either swipe and mill, or swipe and reverse mill, or mill and reverse mill. The other exercise that I did, so that was kind of the A program. The B program was also with 10 pounds and also 2 out of 3 exercises. I did inside pendulums, I did outside pendulums, and I did shield cast. 2 out of 3 exercises. I think going back in time, I think I did shield cast every time. So it was either inside pendulum and shield cast or outside pendulum and shield cast. And I did 6 sets of 7, 7 sets of 7, 8 sets of 7, 9 sets of 7, 10 sets of 7. And then when I got to 10 sets, then I moved up and I did 6 sets of 8. So I did 2, 4, 6 workouts of that particular workout. And then I also had a heavy day. I think once I got to that 6 sets of 8, or when I could see 10 sets of 7 coming, I introduced a heavy day. So I did 6 sets of 5 and 7 sets of 5 with a 12.5 pound. Because again, I used the AddX adjustable clubs. Let me put this one down. So the way that worked is I had 2 different workouts going. I had the swipe and mill, reverse mill workout, and I had the inside pendulum and shield cast workout. And I took turns doing that. Day 1, I would do this one, day 2, day 3, day 4. And you're kind of running up the scale. 6 sets of whatever, 7 sets, 8 sets, 9 sets, 10 sets, 6 sets of the next one up, 7 sets of the next one up, 8 sets of the next one up. When I could do 10 sets, I would come back down. So I kept doing the ladder up for volume, and then I would move over a density and move up. When I got about halfway through the plan, my goal was to get to 10 sets of 10. When I got about halfway through the progression, I would introduce a heavy day. So now I'm doing A, B every other time, but within A or within B, I would go heavy, light, heavy, light. So the light would be at like sets of 9 moving up, sets of 8, sets of 9, sets of 10, and the heavy would start down at sets of 5, sets of 6, sets of 7. And so they're both moving up this progression, and eventually the lightweight, you do 10 sets of 10 and it was done. So the heavyweight became the lightweight, and I would start with a new heavyweight below, and I kind of worked my way up. So I did this program for a long time. I started out with clubs with 7.5 pounds. I started heavier, but my left hand couldn't do it. And I went down and I went down, and I ended up at 7.5 pounds because that's where my left hand had to start. And I wanted to keep my 2 hands in balance. And I did these programs over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually you can add a couple more things to it. And after about 1.5 years, I felt comfortable with them. I had done thousands of reps. My control was good, my balance was good, and I was just bored to tears of doing circles and pendulums. That eventually I created a complex so I could start putting things together. For a comparison, today is 3 years, 3 years past that. Clearly, I'm not giant. I've never been a giant, big, strong guy, but that's not the goal, right? We're in our 50s and 60s. The goal is to be pain-free, full range of motion, able to jump up and do anything with anybody and be better than everybody else that's my age. I love being the most ready to go 56-year-old that I know. And so what I'm doing today is I'm doing also with an AddX club, I'm doing 15 pounds. And I do a combination. So I do circles and pendulums and shield cast and swipe and mills and reverse mills, pendulum to mill tops, pendulum to reverse tops. I do 6 rounds of 10 and then start that over, and I go through 4 times. So I end up doing 24 sets of 10 without rest. I am just about to add a heavy. So because I can do 24 without stopping now, I'm just about to add 17.5 pounds. I'll throw 2.5 more pounds on top of this. And I'll start with smaller sets, and I'll do that. Now, it hasn't taken me 3 years to get all the way here. Last year, I was actually doing 17.5 pounds. I got through an entire set of 24 with 17.5 pounds, and I even tried some work with 20 pounds. The problem is I ran the weight up faster than I was comfortable, and I hated it. My workouts were really hard. I was really sore. I was intimidated by my workouts, and I always felt like I was about to get injured. So I backed it back down to 15, and I've done an entire cycle at 15. Now I'm going to do 17 and a half the right way with more patience, and I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to trying it again. So when you're starting out, the basics: inside circles, outside circles, shield cast, inside pendulums, outside pendulums, 180-degree pullovers, swipes, mills, reverse mills, over and over and over and over and over again. You have to get comfortable. When I was doing this program at this time last year, 6 sets of 7, doing a shield cast with my left hand, I just felt like I was flailing. It is an awkward, uncomfortable movement. Eventually you own it. Now I'm a lot better with it. But I go back to building a program. I found that it was difficult. And so I wanted to share, this is real world. This was the workout that I did. These workouts took between 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how many sets there were. I would do my 6 sets of 7, put it down and rest for a minute, and then do 6 sets of 7 on the other exercise. The entire thing might take 14 minutes or 12 minutes or 18 minutes, whatever it was. That was my workout. It wasn't that I did this long, hour-long CrossFit workout and then this was my topper. Functional fitness was the only workout that I was doing once I started this functional fitness program. So yes, I stand up from my chair and I stretch during the day. I don't like to sit for 4 hours at a time. I might do a stick stretch. I might just do some movement. I might do some shadow boxing. I might get down on the floor and do some quick stretches. So during the day, I stand up a couple times. I go for a walk. I don't sit at my desk for hours at a time anymore. But as far as like really working out, functional fitness is all I do. And when I started out, the workouts were short. Today, my club workout, that 24 rounds, takes me about 27 minutes. And I am exhausted, covered in sweat, head to toe, breathing heavy. It is a difficult workout. At the beginning, I got sweaty. They were kind of hard because you're pushing yourself every time, but it's not the same. It's not the old 30 to 60 minute workout that you're used to. But you have to start there to get here, and that's what we did. The other thing, while I'm talking about this and getting started, this is my other ADX club. This is a basic club. I don't even have the screw in this. Fat handle ADX club. This is 3.5 pounds. So if you're starting out and that 5-pound club is awkward in your left hand and you're afraid you're going to conk yourself in the head or break your wrist when it falls over sideways, an ADX club is 3.5 pounds. When you take, oh man, I just got a little bit of screw grease on my hand. When you take the spindle and put it in, it becomes 5 pounds. When if I take a little 2.5 pound weight in here and put the spindle in, now it's going to be 7.5 pounds. And the lighter your weight, your punishment is that this is hard to screw in. It takes a long time. When you stack up a whole bunch of weights here, you only have to screw this in a little bit. So the strong guys get an advantage. But it is one of those really cool things that works great. But there's a 7.5 pound 8X club. This is what I started off with. And I did hundreds and hundreds of inside circles. I'll go back up a step, and outside circles and shield cast and all of these different things. You don't have to go heavy. You just have to do the motion. Getting your arm the full range of motion, even if it's with a light weight, any weight at all puts a little bit of extra tension on there and lets you build up some strength. Start with 3.5 pounds, go to 5 pounds, go to 7.5 pounds. They actually have 1.25 fractional weights that are really skinny. So you could go to 6.25 pounds or to 8.75 pounds. You don't have to go all the way to that 2.5 pound jump. But that's it. That's kind of what I wanted to share. Again, when I was starting out, the two things that I looked for is, what should I really do as a beginner? What is the legitimate workout that I should do? And then also, Mr. YouTube influencer guy, they had lots of awesome ideas and things that you should do, but I didn't know you couldn't do all of the stuff that they said every day. It was just too much. And I wanted to really know what they did on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis. Like, what does your workout really look like? And that didn't exist. I had to go on a lot of faith. I had to put some stuff together. I did a lot of experimentation, and I'm trying to make your life a little bit easier than mine was. Hopefully this video makes sense. I got a little bit more long-winded. I thought this was going to be a shorter video, so I apologize for that. But I hope you're able to take this club program, take something out of it, get comfortable with clubs, because clubs are fantastic. They're going to make your shoulders feel so good. And we want to be in our 60s, 70s, 80s and have full range of motion with our shoulders. Pull stuff off the top shelf, play catch with your grandkids, whatever it is. Let's make sure our shoulders work right, and clubs are a great tool for that. That's all I have today. Hope you have a great day. Go get better.